Hello, everybody. You may know me as SCT 2016. Well, today is the giveaway winner announcement. I will also be reading off some of the questions submitted by fans. If I do not get to your question, I apologize. You will still be entered into the giveaway, just your question will not appear in the video. Without further ado, let's get started. Starting off with the first question, the one I get maybe the most. What is your favorite team? And my favorite team is the Pittsburgh Penguins. I was not born and raised in Pittsburgh, but my family was, so I was brought up to be a Penguins fan. Next question is kind of going back to the previous question. Why do I love doing YouTube so much? It's because I like to interact with fans, and I mean, it's kind of a good feeling when you get a few thousand views on a video, I'm not going to lie. So, I mean, that's a nice thing to do. Thank you guys for actually motivating me to do YouTube, which is another reason why I love it so much. Next question is, what is my favorite hockey moment / favorite goal of all time? It would be Game 7, 2017, Ottawa Senators at Pittsburgh Penguins, the double overtime Chris Kunitz goal to send the Penguins to the Stanley Cup final versus the Nashville Predators. I remember watching that game and just going absolutely berserk when we scored that overtime goal because, well, we would have been going back to back if we had won the cup that year, and thankfully we did. Next question is, what got me involved with sports? Well, my first ever live sports event was maybe, I don't know, I couldn't tell you how old I was, but it was a while ago, PNC Park in Pittsburgh. It didn't really get me into sports because I was too young to really understand, but eventually, when I was about 10 years old, I went to a Steelers versus Cardinals game in 2015, and watching that, I could not believe what I was seeing. Like, I was like, why am I not doing this? So that was my first football game ever. And hockey, it was the year the Penguins won the Stanley Cup in 2016. I watched that series versus the Sharks, and that's just when I fell in love with hockey, and I continued to watch it. Another common question I get is, do you like our ideas, or what are your favorite hockey videos to make? So first, I do love your guys' ideas, and I apologize if I cannot get your ideas in the video. I try to get every idea I can, just I don't have the time, and there are a lot of ideas out there. And second, my favorite videos to make are the loudest crowd moments. I'm still waiting to make a part 10 to see like what's going to happen. I don't know when I want to make it, if I want to hit you at a milestone. But yeah, this is my favorite because it's what really got my channel, I don't want to say big, but like a little bit more noticed. Because I don't know, it just blew up one day I remember checking that first month I posted it, it had 10,000 views, and I was like, wow, at the time that was a whole lot for me. It still is a whole lot to think that 10,000 people have viewed that video that you made. So that would have to be my favorite video that I've made, but that series is my favorite series that I've made of my videos. Next question is kind of a non-hockey question. I really wanted to do this one. It's, what dogs do you have, if you have any, and what breed? I have 2 dogs, girls. My first one is a Border Collie mix, black and white dog, and I have a Beagle Hound dog, who is, beautiful. Love them both. The next question I get is, what are my favorite jerseys? There are a lot of good ones out there. I can't pick what my favorites are, but my number one favorite, I would have to say, are the Canes alternate jerseys. I don't know why I love them. The black and red mix beautiful, and I really like how they changed the logo to actually the hurricane warning logo. Yeah, very beautiful jerseys. I mean, there are a lot of good ones. There's probably not a jersey that I really hate. The only thing that I would say about some jerseys that I don't like how the Anaheim old Mighty Duck jerseys were amazing, but they decided to change them for their alternates. That I do not agree with, and wish that they would just kept the old jerseys. The next question is, how long did it take to create this awesome YouTube channel? It took a little while till I got kind of popular. I remember I would make these videos like back to back to back, and I would get maybe 20 to 80 views at most, and it was very discouraging. So I took about 8 months off, and when I realized that my Loudest Crowd Moments Part 3 was getting very popular, I had like 40 subscribers at the time. So I made a comment on the video saying, if you guys can get me to 80 subscribers, I promise you guys I will come back. and it took about 3 days, and I was at 80 subscribers. I was a little above 80 subscribers, so I said, "This is amazing. I'm gonna come back." So I came back and made a best goalie saves video, and that video just got about like 1,000 views, and I was like, "Oh, wait up, this is above what I usually get." So I continued to make a few more hockey videos to experiment, and then I made some football and baseball videos, and those didn't get nearly as many views as the hockey. So I said, okay, I will now focus my channel on only hockey because this is what my fans want. So yeah, it took a little while to create my YouTube channel and get it a little bit up there, but eventually it happened. Going back on last question, kind of, if you didn't do hockey clips, what other sports would you do? I would do specifically football because it's my number one sport. But I tried football, and I don't know, since there are so many other channels that do like a lot of better football content. That's why I just wanted to focus more on hockey. So I would do football if those would get views, but I'll just stick to hockey for you. What team do I think can become an underdog in the playoffs? I would have to say that it could be the Blackhawks because they were the one team to shut down the Oilers this season, so they would be the 112 seed. I could see beating a 5 seed or even a round robin team. And they have so many stars like Patrick Kane and Jonathan Taves. I understand that they're getting a little older, their production has gone down, but they've had the playoff experience. They're still, I guess, I don't know if you could say elite, but they're still talented players that deserve more than what they get. But they already have 3 cups, so they can't really complain. But yeah, they could be the underdog team, and if Crawford can stay healthy and consistent, then I really think that they could be underdogs and cup contenders, possibly. The next question is, what do I think of the Rangers during the playoffs? There's not much to dislike about them. They have a lot of star talent, like Artemi Panarin, Mika Zibanejad. They've got a solid defense. I think someone that needs to step up on defense is Jacob Trouba. Very disappointing season for him. But if they can start Igor Shesterkin in the playoffs, I think that he could be a dark horse. He would make them a dark horse candidate for the Cup. Yeah, their goaltending situation is the only problem that I have with the Rangers because, well, Lundqvist, I don't think that he should get the start. Georgiev, no playoff experience. He was an average goaltender. And Shesterkin, wouldn't say that the Rangers should rush him anytime soon because if they really want him to be a great goaltender, I really, really think that he should stay on the backup side. But yeah, my opinion, great underrated team. Don't know if they'll beat the Canes, though. That's my only problem. Don't know if they'll beat the Canes. Next question is, who is your favorite Cane? My favorite Hurricane is Jordan Staal, as he was a former Penguin, and I really liked him when he was on the Penguins. He's a great leader, great face-off man, great penalty killer. He's just an all-around likable player. I really like all the Staal brothers. Not much to have against any of them. But yeah, he would have to be my favorite Hurricane. The next one is, besides Pittsburgh, what is your second favorite team or the team that you'd want to win the Cup this year? I don't really have a second favorite team, but going back to what I said earlier, I wouldn't mind the Blackhawks winning the Stanley Cup because, I can have some family who are Blackhawks fans, or even the Hurricanes because, living in Raleigh, I don't have much against them. It wouldn't be terrifying to see them win the Cup. So I would have to either say the Blackhawks or the Hurricanes. My opinion on who the most underrated player in the NHL is would have to be Jacob Slavin. He might not be starting to get into that Backstrom Barkov area of underrated, but he's still a very solid defenseman for the Hurricanes. Big piece of that team. Without him, I don't know what they would do. My favorite Penguins player of all time is Sidney Crosby. I would have to say because I was not alive to watch Mario Lemieux play all of his career. If not, it would probably be for him. But yeah, and he's also a player that has not been traded or taken away in free agency from the Penguins. So that's another key reason on why I think he's my favorite player. My favorite team from each division in the Atlantic, it would have to be the Florida Panthers. In the Metropolitan, well, obviously the Pittsburgh Penguins. In the Central Division, the Chicago Blackhawks. And in the Pacific Division, I'd probably have to say the Vegas Golden Knights. My favorite playoff series of the 2000s would probably have to be the Stanley Cup final between Detroit Red Wings and the Pittsburgh Penguins. It might be a little biased, but it was nice to see the Penguins win their first cup since the 90s and see Marian Hossa on the ice without a cup when you could have stayed with the Penguins but decided to sign with Detroit Red Wings for 1 year. So, yeah. What's my most hated team in the NHL? I don't really hate a team, but my biggest rival of a team, I guess I would say, is the Philadelphia Flyers. Um, Nothing I really hate against them, just, it's the Pennsylvania rivalry, and I'm not the biggest fan of Sean Couturier or Claude Giroux because they like punishing the Penguins, I will say that. If you've ever played much Chell, what was your favorite game? I don't really play much Chell, but I've played a little bit. I did do one online game where I came down from a 2-0 deficit in the third period about 10 minutes to go. I ended up winning in overtime. It was an online game, so that was probably my favorite moment. It was kind of sweet because I'm not very good at Chell, as you can tell in the video, but that comeback was just a little exciting, and I mean, it was like one of 5 online games I've ever played. When you started YouTube, did you ever struggle with not having motivation to continue your channel? Yes, I did. When my views were not as big as they were now and I had little subscribers, I was like, why am I wasting my time doing this? I should just give up. But like I said earlier, those people that decide to subscribe and get me the views, thank you for that, because I wouldn't be here right now if it weren't for you. Did I ever want to be a hockey player when I get older? No, I guess not really. I've always wanted to be a professional football player. I mean, it's not likely that that ever happens. But I would like to do something with sports in my future, specifically hockey. Like something like a broadcaster, or even working for something like TSN. That's a big step, but it never hurts to try, right? What is my favorite restaurant in Pittsburgh? Like you, yes, it is Permane Brothers. Love Permane Brothers. But I do really like Eaton Park. Eaton Park is a great place to eat, and if you've ever gone to Pittsburgh, I suggest that you go there sometime. Great place. Oh, those smiley face cookies. Oh my gosh, those are amazing. What do I think of the draft lottery? Would I prefer a different format? I mean, yeah, it's probably not the right person to ask about this. I'm not a big fan of the draft lottery, obviously, but I'm not really complaining because if the Penguins do somehow lose, we have a chance at Lafreniere. But I guess I would kind of prefer a different format. I don't know how I would do it, but like I would have it be different than what we currently have, as sometimes it's not really fair, in my opinion. What is my favorite NBA team? This is kind of a good question since Pittsburgh does not have an NBA team. Since I live in North Carolina, I guess it would have to be the Hornets. Not really a basketball fan, but if I had to pick one team to cheer for the rest of my life, it would have to be the Hornets. What is my goal for this channel? I don't know if I really have a goal. I kind of exceeded 1,000 subscribers already. I couldn't really tell you. I don't want to make money off YouTube because if I ever can, I'm not going to. My goal, I guess, would just to be make good content for you guys. Do you like the Maple Leafs or Sabres more? Probably the Maple Leafs because the Sabres always find a way to beat us. And I mean, I don't really hate either of them. Like, nothing against them. Just this season, the Sabres had our number, and we more have had the Maple Leafs number. But yeah, I'd probably have to say the Maple Leafs. Who do I think will get Laffy? Any team can get him. I think that the likely runners are the Panthers, the Blue Jackets, and the Blackhawks. But anyone can get him. But those are the teams I think I would like to see get Lafreniere. But yeah, those are also the 3 teams I think have the better chance at getting Lafreniere. What's my opinion on the Battle of Alberta? Love it. Great series. That's that game where when it was Oilers at Flames, where the Mike Smith and Cam Talbot fought. That was an amazing game. I remember watching that. That was awesome. I don't know if it's the best rivalry in the NHL, but it's definitely top 5 up there. What team do I think played best throughout the season? I'd probably have to say the Columbus Blue Jackets because of all their man games lost and how they lost Panarin, Duchesne, Bobrovsky. And, I mean, Tortorella is a great coach, so he's done some spectacular things with that team. Yeah, so I think that they've overall played the best throughout the season, but like obviously the Bruins have been the best team this season in the league, winning the President's Trophy. But the team that played the best, yes, the Columbus Blue Jackets. What is my favorite food? That's kind of a hard one. I'd probably have to say like any type of pasta. Love pasta. So good. Did I ever play hockey and do you still play? No, I guess I can say I practice it, but like it's just in my backyard. I mean, I'm not very good. Like, I mean, any other hockey player that played not professionally could come and whoop me, but like I'm a decent player, I guess. I mean, my skating is pretty bad, honestly, but I've never professionally, or not professionally as you call it. I guess I've never played in a league, but like I practice it, yeah. My first hockey game I ever went to, that's a tough one because I've been to so many. I've been to many hockey games since I was like five, at least 5, 7. So I know it was a Hurricanes game. Just I could not tell you the date or what game it was, but it was a Hurricanes game a long while ago. Next question: do you follow goal horns? Yes, I do follow goal horns. I don't know why, but I just have a love for goal horns, and people get so annoyed when I try and quiz them on who they are, and people actually get a little impressed when I can name all teams' goal horns. Um, yeah, that's a so I do follow goal horns. It's a good question. The best current undrafted player I would have to say would be Mark Giordano. Not as elite of a defenseman, but he has been very, very good throughout his career. So currently, yes, Mark Giordano is the best currently undrafted free agent player. What do I edit with? For first, I use this app called Capture, and then I use iMovie. Nothing too special. Um, but yeah, those are the two things I use to edit with. And sometimes, if I'm can't get the clips from there, I use my computer to use my editing. But yeah, that's it.